Hello everyone, this is Navarsha, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, Engineering College Bikaner. In previous lectures, we have studied about unicasting routing protocols, that are distance vector and link state and path vector routing protocols. Some of them were inter-domain routing algorithms and some were inter-domain routing algorithms. So in network, basically the communication is not only unicast, it can be multicast or it can be broadcast also. So in today's lecture we will see what algorithms can be used for multicast routing protocols. For multicast routing, what are the algorithms which are used? First one is, firstly we will see what is unicast. Unicast message can unicast, multicast or broadcast. Unicasting is basically one-to-one communication. In unicast communication, there is one source and one destination. The relationship between source and destination is one to one. So in this type of communication, both the source and the destination address in the IP datagram are unicast addresses which are assigned to the host. So this is the scenario of unicast communication. Source is S1 and D1 is the destination. So the communication is unicast, means S1 is sending one message. Um, S1 is sending a message to destination D1. So unicast packet starts from the source S1 and it passes through routers to reach the destination D1. In unicasting, when a router receives a packet, it forwards the packet through only one of its interfaces as defined in the routing table. The router may discard the packet if it cannot find the destination address in its routing table. So we have already studied unicast routing algorithms. In unicast routing algorithms, each router has one routing table. So based upon that routing table and the destination of the message, the router will forward the message. In unicasting, basically the router forwards the received packet through only one of its interfaces. Remember, router has more than one interfaces, so it depends upon which type of communication you are using. If it is unicast communication, then only one interface will be used. If it is multicast, then more than one interfaces will be used. Okay, so next we will see what is multicasting. In multicast communication, there is only one source, but a group of destinations are there. The relationship here is one to many. So in this type of communication, the source address is a unicast address, but the destination address is a group of addresses which defines one or more destinations. So this is the scenario of multicast communication. Okay, so here a multicast packet starts from source S1 and then goes to all the destinations that belong to the group G1. Okay, so G1 is nothing but it is a group to which this particular message is has been designed. So it will go to the group G1. So uh, wherever there is G1 means group of addresses. So it will the router will multicast through all the directions to which G1, any address which is inside G1 is present. So when a router receives a packet, it may forward it through several of its interfaces if it is multicasting. Okay, so next we have broadcasting. In broadcast communication, the relationship between the source and destination is one to all. There is only one source, but the message has to be forwarded to all the destinations, all the other hosts which are the destinations. The internet does not explicitly support broadcasting because of a huge amount of traffic. Because a huge amount of traffic is there, so it would create it would and because of the bandwidth it would need. Okay, so traffic and the bandwidth are the major concern in broadcast communication. Imagine the traffic generated in the internet if one person wanted to send a message to everyone else to which it is connected, so there will be a huge amount of traffic. Okay, next we will see multicasting versus multiple unicasting. See, these two are different terms. These are not same. The both terms looks like similar, but there is a huge difference between them. So, see, multicasting starts with one single packet from the source, and that packet is duplicated by the routers. Okay, the source will start only a single packet, and it will be duplicated by the routers. In multiple unicasting, source will send more than one messages. Okay, so multicasting starts with one single packet from the source. The destination address in each packet is same for all the duplicates. Okay. Here only one single copy of the packet travels between any two routers. Only between any two routers, only a single copy of message will be transferred. But in multicast routing, several packets starts from the source. This is multiple unicasting. Several packets start from the source, and if there are five destinations, the source sends the five packets, each with a different unicast destination address. There may be multiple copies traveling between two routers. In multicasting, there was only one copy of the message between two routers. In multiple unicasting, there may be multiple copies between two routers. For example, if a person sends an email message to a group of people, then it is multiple unicasting, because from the source only we have started multiple messages. The email software creates the replicas of the message, and each with a different destination address, and then sends them one by one. This is not multicasting, it is multiple unicasting. Okay, next, this is multicasting versus multiple unicasting. Next we will see emulation of multicasting with unicasting. You may think like, why we have a separate mechanism for multicasting when it can be accomplished with unicasting also. So there are some reasons for this. First of all, multicasting requires less bandwidth than multiple unicasting, and in multiple unicasting, some of the links must handle several copies. But in multicasting, we have seen if there are two routers, between any two routers there will be only one message which will be transferred. In multiple unicasting, the packets are created by the source with a relative delay between packets. So let's suppose if there are 1000 destinations, the delay between the first and the last packet may be unacceptable. So in multicasting, there is no delay because only one packet is created by the source. Router will create the copies, but the transmission there is a transmission of only one message at a particular time. So emulation of multicasting through multiple unicasting is not efficient, and it may create long delays, particularly with a large group. That's why we use multicasting instead of multiple unicasting. Okay, see, this is the scenario of shortest path in a unicast routing. In unicast routing, basically we have only one path to. In unicast routing, when a router receives a packet to forward, so it simply needs to find the shortest path to the destination of the packet. The router consults with its routing table for that particular destination, and the next hop entry corresponding to the destination is the start of the shortest path. If so, the router already knows the shortest path for each destination. Each line of the routing table is a shortest path. Like this is, let's suppose this is the routing table. So each line decides the shortest path. Means each line in the routing table decides the next hop to be transmitted. So in unicast routing, each router needs only one shortest path tree to forward a packet. However, if we talk about multicasting, in each router needs more than one shortest path because we have to multicast the packet. Okay, so in here, if you see the shortest path tree for R1, each line in the routing table corresponds to only one path from the root to the corresponding network. So the whole table represents the shortest path tree. Okay, in unicast routing, each router in the domain has a table which is known as routing table, which defines the shortest path tree to all the possible destinations. Okay, so next we will see what is multicast routing. Whenever a router receives a multicast packet, the situation is different from unicast packet. A multicast packet may have destinations in more than one networks. Okay, so forwarding of a single packet to members of a group requires a shortest path tree. So if we have n groups, then we may require n shortest path trees. We can imagine the complexity of the multicast routing. So for this particular scenario, we have two approaches. First one is source based trees and the next one is group shared trees. We'll see them one by one. See, in source based tree, what happens? Each router needs to have one shortest path tree for each group. The shortest path tree for a group defines the next hop for each network that has loyal member. Okay, this loyal member is it's nothing but the, let's suppose if the group G1 is there, so in group G1 we may have more than one addresses. So if that particular address belongs to group G1, then that is the G1 is the loyal member for that particular network. So we assume that we have only 5 groups. Okay, let's take the, we are assuming that we have only 5 groups G1 to G5. So at a particular moment, G1 has loyal members in 4 networks. See, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. Okay. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So G1 has 4 loyal members in 4 networks. G2 has in 3, which is 1, 2 and 3. G3 in 2, 1 and where is G3? 2. Okay, G4 in 2. So this is G4 and this is G4. And G5 in 2. So G5, 1 and 2. So G5 has its loyal members in 2 networks. So okay, let us see the routing table for R1. There is one shortest path tree for each group. Therefore, if there are 5 shortest path trees for 5 groups. So if router R1 receives a packet with destination address in G1, it needs to send a copy of the packet to the attached network. A copy, if it wants to transfer to G1, so it will send the copy to router R2 first, because the next hop is R2. R2 and R4. Why R2 and R4? Because G1 is not only one address, it is a combination of addresses. So more than one addresses can be there, so it has to forward the packet or message to more than one network, so to more than one router. So it will transfer the copy of the message to router R2 and to R4, so that all the members of G1 can receive the copy. In this particular approach, if the member of group is, what is the disadvantage? If the number of group is m, then each router needs to have m shortest path trees, and each for one for each group. So you can also assume the complexity of the routing table. Let's suppose if we have 100 or thousands of groups, then it will be very much difficult protocol to manage. So for this particular disadvantage, we have one more approach, which is group shared tree approach. In group shared tree approach, instead of each router having m shortest path trees, only one designated router, which is known as the center core, or center core is takes the responsibility of the distributing multicast traffic. The core has m shortest path trees in its routing table. The rest of the routers in the domain have none. If a router receives a multicast packet, then it will encapsulate the packet in a unicast packet, and it will send it to the core router, not to the all the routers. Only it will send to the core router. The core router removes the multicast packet from its capsule, and then it will consult the routing table to route the packet. So this is the scenario for group shared tree approach. Okay, so in group shared tree approach, only the core router, which has the shortest path tree for each group, is involved in multicasting. Okay. So these are the core router table. So for G1 we have R2, R3 and R4, 5 shortest path trees. Okay, so we are only transmitting like G1, G2, we are only transmitting to R2, here R3, R1, R4. So all these have one core router. So this router is something centralized, it is something like centralized algorithm. So it will simply the message will be simply transferred to core router and then to other routers. Okay, thank you so much.